conditions. See Lowe's.com for details. Subject to credit approval.
Golf is a game that should be fun, but to have the most fun, you need to play your best. That's where the experts at Golf Plus come in. Their friendly staff will guide you through the buying process, answer all your questions, and can help with any repairs you need along the way. Golf Plus is your custom fitting, club repair, and golf retail shop. Golf Plus staff is non-commissioned and will work with you to find the best product for your game, just like they've been doing since 1988. Golf Plus in Dothan and Panama City Beach. Fitting, repair, retail. That's Golf Plus.
You're home to the NFL. WGSX Lynn Haven. WVLQ Port St. Joe. ESPN Northwest Florida. It's the Coach James Hale Show.
Do you know who I am?
Live and local inside the J. Michael Studio.
People know me.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
I'm full of water. I stay hot there.
Good God. Oh, man. Hey, welcome back.
You're going to calm down today?
Hey, Dave.
My God.
I want to talk to you about that, Wildcat.
No, I don't want to talk about it.
Remember we came on, and I knew it was going to be heated because of what happened Monday.
Yeah.
And people talking to me out in public, and knew the two Big Ten guys coming in weren't happy because not just the Florida State, but Ohio State and the Michigan angle, all the different angles. But we said before the show started, just keep the emotion out of it. Just talk, and everybody has an opinion. Doesn't mean you're right. Doesn't mean we're right. I mean, I got an opinion. Everybody's got one, and that's okay. Just don't agree, but don't go crazy. And it got ugly.
It got ugly
with Michigan Eddie and Jason. And I apologize if we couldn't hear. We got two people yelling at the same time. You can't hear what anything's going on.
Oh,
and
they were emotional.
Yeah,
they were both just crazy.
What you're telling me is I need to raise the bar even higher. Noted.
I really don't.
Brian, don't you start now. We know where you
Brian
live.
does good. He knows.
We know where you live, Brian. Behave.
I ain't worried about it. Brian knows how to do it. He's done it for a living. We all know it's Wednesday. Beautiful day, a little bit cold. We're going to be cold, really cold tonight. Glenn's with us. Glenn, how you doing?
I'm doing wonderful. I took 2 blood pressure pills this morning instead of 1. So, I
like your language, your text Saturday or Sunday.
Sunday night. No, don't put that
Should
up.
I read it, what you said?
No, don't do that. Don't put that up. But
I said, tell me what you really think.
That's right. So,
Brian's never text Hale anything unless you want it read.
Well,
Brian,
that's true.
Ever.
Brian's with us this morning. Yeah, this phone, I don't know what's wrong with this phone.
We got Mark McLeod.
Mark McLeod's coming on.
He and I jumped into it yesterday or the day before. So
now it's a bit of a dangerous day with everything going on. This is our Florida Gator Day.
I know,
we know who's coming on at 7:30.
Yeah, this one could be dangerous.
So I've taken, like I said, 2 pressure pills, and I'm not going to answer. I'm going to do like I do with the police. I'm just going to look straight ahead and answer yes or no questions.
That's right. Well, look, Monday afternoon I'd sit in, on the other show, the one you told me I'd cheat on you with. Yeah, I understand. And I had to be kind of, logical and calm and, host and everything like that. But I've had more time to think about this deal. And look, I mean, this whole system is doomed from the start.
Yeah.
You've got 13 people on it, right? This is the most unlucky and, evil number in human history is 13. So you've got that. You've got the athletic director at NC State heading this up, which you might as well be a surfing instructor in the desert, as athletic director at NC State. And then the guy's name is Boo Corrigan.
Yeah.
So think about it. His first act on this earth to leave the birth canal, his mother looks at him and says, boo. I mean, what did we expect was going to happen?
And then Jim Grove is on it.
I mean, this whole thing is doomed from the beginning.
That's right.
So, that's what I think.
That was a good one.
Yeah,
that was a good one.
Well, I'm going to do my calm perspective on it.
All right, go ahead.
All right, so if no disrespect to who's in there. Absolutely, we got to live with it. That's what it is. All right, so on the 18th of November, when Florida State was going to play.
Tell Travis, hold on a minute, because I want Glenn to get it off his chest.
So November the 18th, before Travis got hurt, 10 hours before they played, Reese Davis and Herb Street were going to call that game at Florida. They thought quarterbacks down, no way they're going to win. So when they had the first 8 ranked up there on the board, and they said, they went through everybody, Pat McAfee and all that, and then so Herb Street says, well, I don't think Florida State has got the quality wins and all this stuff, but if they win, they should be in. But I would put Alabama and Texas in there because of the way they're playing.
He said that?
He said that. Yeah, he said that.
Before Travis got hurt.
Before he got hurt. All right, so then we put up 58 points with the backup quarterback. All right, so that next Tuesday, they ranked us number 4. And guess what? Boo, whatever his name is, came in and said, no, it has no impact. They got dudes out there. They can play. This has no impact on Florida State. All right? He said that. Then they just knew that Florida was going to beat us. Okay? And that's when Alabama played Auburn. Right. All right, so who's calling the Florida game? Herb Street and Reese. All right, so when the play went and they scored, them guys they're not calling because it's a good play. It was a good play. It was a desperation. They know they worked on it. It just, when you work on all that stuff, it has to come out just right, and it did. Yeah. All right, so I think it's a great play. Probably go down in the Auburn, Alabama history thing. Right. All right, so did you see how they were jumping up now? Because their narrative now is filled.
Yes.
Okay. All right, so then they said, well,
they were cheerleaders.
They were. And so what came on again, Florida State was still 4th the next Tuesday.
Right.
Before everybody plays in a championship game. All right, if you look, Herb Street's sitting there. Behind him is the 4 helmets, and Florida State's in the 4th position, okay? And right below them is Texas, okay? All right, so then there's no way. They're jumping up and down. There's no way. It's the 3rd-string quarterback of Florida State. They're all happy. They had champagne party up there in Bristol, Connecticut, because Florida State's not going to win this game. And it started out the first half like they weren't. It was terrible. Right. Second half, though, they come back and they win. Okay, and they shut down a team that scores 31 points to 6. They averaged over 200-something yards rushing. There's like 180. And they blocked the Florida State punt. They're on the inside the 10, and they didn't score, kick a field goal.
Right.
All right, so now Florida State's won. All right, so then we come on, and they said this doesn't impact. They said that. Greg McElroy said, enough said. Let's don't discuss Alabama, Texas, anybody. If Florida State wins out, they're in. That was a Tuesday. All right. At that Sunday, we come on, and what does Greg McElroy say? Well, we're going to try to put the 4 best teams, and Alabama has to be in there. So the ESPN people got to him and said, you better hush your mouth. You better flip this narrative over. Now, David Pollard, the year before, had said something about one of the teams getting in. Is he working there anymore? No. So they got to old Greg, and then I fear for Booger, and I fear for RG3, because they're still pushing the narrative that FSU belongs in there. So Booger can go to the NFL stuff. He's in there, too. But RG, I guarantee you those 2 people won't be working for ESPN next year.
Well, remember they said, we will know when you know.
Right.
And remember the helmets?
Yeah, the helmets. I pointed that out to you. Yeah. Then they had them all 4 behind it before they even announced it.
The top 4.
Yeah. And then so they're not going to, here's the thing. Once they decided what they're going to do, the cash cow for SEC is going to be Alabama. I mean, that's realistic. And Georgia's right behind them. Mm-hmm. So then when Alabama beats Georgia, okay, here's what they're not going to do. We're not going to keep the SEC cash cow out. Mm-hmm. We're not going to do it. But we can't put Alabama in front of Texas. So the odd man out is FSU. So we're going to go Texas and Alabama. Now, I'm not getting upset with those 2 that are in there. I'm just upset with the way they did it.
Right.
And they said we had dudes and we could play. Right. No impact for 2 weeks, and then all of a sudden it happens.
Let me tell you what my thought on it. Right. It says it's like the 3rd time.
Yeah.
We were coming back from Birmingham, listening to Florida State, Louisville. They actually had Louisville's radio network calling the game.
Right.
And I'm listening to it, and I said, okay, they've won. Washington won. Michigan won. This is what they're going to do. You got 13-0 teams. There's your first 3. It's going to be between Alabama and Texas. And I'm already thinking, how can we swing this where Bama gets in? They won the SEC. They had the best win of any other team, but we lost to Texas head-to-head. How do we overcome that? And I said, Texas lost to Oklahoma. And I'm thinking everything in the world to argue for Alabama to get in over Texas. Then I get home late and I listen to like you said, I listen to them talk about it all night long, all these different stations. I stayed up late watching this stuff. we get up and drive home. We listen to these national radio shows, and this then they go on live to the announcements who's going to get in. When I heard Texas at number 3, I knew Alabama was in. I knew they were in.
All you had to do is look at the helmets.
They couldn't put Alabama in and not Texas.
Yeah, absolutely. And so they jumped protocol. And
I'll be honest with you, I did start thinking. I thought at first we're probably going to get head to head. How are we going to get over that head to head? They beat us at home by 10. So that scared me to death.
And that's it.
I'm sorry. Wait a minute. Okay, we'll take it. Hold on.
Go ahead.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Hey, buddy.
Hey, so I just wanted to say I have felt for y'all FSU fans, and since they got excluded from playoffs. But the other day, yesterday, actually, I had a notification on my phone that someone commented on a post that I made before the Florida State game, and it was a picture that had 2 helmets on it. It had Colorado's helmet, and it had Florida's helmet, and it was like an Ashley Home Furniture commercial thing that pretty much said we were going to stay home and watch the bowl games and all. So I had to pull out the big guns at that point. And I was like, well, I guess we'll see you in the playoffs. Oh, wait a minute. Sorry.
Yep.
A little too soon on that. But some of the fans, they're
overboard. I mean, we want to pass $1 million to sue them, but just put the $1 million towards a facility or give it to the players. I mean, it's not going to change anything. And then with the 12 people come in, we're going to be arguing about 13, 14, and 15 next year.
So listen, so you really believe that politics got involved in this? You really do?
Oh, no. Follow the money, big boy. Follow the money.
No, wait a minute. Follow the money. SEC reaches a $3 billion deal with Disney, ending their deal with CBS. Now they're going with the Disney Corporation, which owns ABC, ESPN. And I haven't read all of it yet, but I just saw this. That's a lot of money.
It is. So the cash cows are not going to be left out. I feel sorry for Georgia.
Yeah,
the irony in the whole thing is that ESPN runs the ACC network and all the ACC stuff too. But
and we voted ourselves out because
the prospect and look, Sankey, Saban, all of them were laying the groundwork for this early. They knew what they were doing too, and I don't blame them. The prospect of no SEC team in the playoffs scared the hell out of the committee. That's it. That's where it all went wrong for FSU.
Right, because you're not going to cut off. Here's the thing. Look at the 4 teams they're in. Yep. The Northeast, the Southeast, the Southwest, and the West. Those are the 4 teams.
I don't think there's anyone who believes, let's say Georgia beats Alabama. Right? It'd have been Georgia, it'd have been Washington, it would have been Michigan. I don't think there's anyone who believes Texas would have been 4.
No.
And Florida State would have been 5. The only reason Texas got in,
they had to put Alabama.
Was Alabama?
Yeah, because they had to put. Yeah.
Hey, I gotta run.
All right, Travis.
Just walk or drive your car. Don't be running.
Thank you, Travis.
All right, I got one.
Thank you.
Bye bye.
I tell you the one thing that I went in, I picked out my Bible and I said, you know what? If you read James 1:14, but each person is tempted when he is lured or enticed by his own desire. So we
break that down for us.
Okay, everybody has their wants, what they want to do. Okay, and so we're the Florida State base. Okay, so we're upset because we didn't get our way. All right, so so what happens is now the old devil's at work. It's turned everybody. It's almost like the political, which side are you on? It's just kind of,
you have to explain that book to Coach because it doesn't have enough pictures in it.
When you said James number 1, I thought you were talking about me. I didn't know what you were talking about.
Yeah, you're number 1, but there's another word that goes with that.
The book of James.
And you were using a different finger to show me that I was number 1 too. Unbelievable. All right, let's take a break. We'll get back. Glenn's with us today. Brian's in here. Wildcat as usual, and we're going to keep it calm and cool the whole day.
I thought I did pretty good.
You did great. You did awesome.
I think Doc Chandler gave me some Dr. Chadwell gave me whatever his name is. Garibaldi. He gave me some Thorazines to calm me down. So
that's a good thing. All right, Charlie Corin's place, Glenn.
Did you bring enough for everybody?
Yay!
Yes. What a Heavenly
place.
Hash. We're back. I mean,
Yes, finally.
Now this, we got to get Glenn and I got to get this out there. This is the new one now.
Yep.
Charlie's Corn's Place, the new one, located on 15th Street.
That's right.
15th Street, brand new facility is gorgeous.
Right.
It opened on 10/17/23. They've had a restaurant since 1986, I believe.
Right.
Private dining in the back room. I think it holds up to about 25 people. So if you want to have a chamber meeting, any type of business meeting, that's the place to do it. But listen, I'm going to go through a couple of these specials. This is
okay.
I got excited about this. I think I'm going to take you and even buy you lunch.
All right.
As far as you know. Weekly specials. Beef tips, 2 sides and a tea for $11.20.
Right.
Chopped steak, 2 sides and tea, same thing. Spaghetti, salad, corn, tea, $11.20. Meatloaf, 3 sides and a tea, $11.20. That sounds good to me.
Yep.
3 sides. Lots of great vegetables. That's right. Where do you get vegetables anymore?
Right.
Where can you get good vegetables, good healthy food?
If you go to some of these buffets, you don't know how much butter and stuff they put in them. So
yeah.
But they've always had great service. Charlie's an FSU guy, but right there on the curb, right across from the law firm there.
Mm-hmm. Is that Robert's place?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so you can't miss it. And the mural on the side has a big seascape thing, and but there's a little helicopter in there. That's what Charlie did. So he flew helicopter.
Chicken fillets and fries.
Yep.
Tea, $10.85. I mean, there's some great food down there. Great people, and we might even see Robert Fleming. His office right across the street.
Across the
street. Legendary Robert Fleming probably eats in there quite a bit.
Yep.
The new Charlie Corin's place, right on 15th Street. Go check it out. We think you'll love it. Julie was in there about 3 hours with him yesterday.
Yeah, he's a great guy.
Man.
He's probably giving her the history.
They weren't happy about FSU, buddy.
No,
they were not
great
happy.
Family. His son played center for us on the football team, and then he played at UCF. So
we got another new sponsor too, man. Glenn, your beautiful wife. You want to go get her something nice? Where are you going to take her, Brian? I mean, Wildcat.
Adamson Jewelry.
Absolutely.
9th and 77.
Don't get me in trouble taking Glenn's wife anywhere.
That's right. Yeah, right.
You get in the doghouse from watching too much football.
Yeah, me and
Adamson.
There.
Yep.
David
It's
Adamson.
Christmas time.
Jewelry. Designer jewelry. Right there on 77.
9th and 77.
Yeah.
It's almost right across from the police station in Lynn Haven. Yeah.
Right.
Now,
Right
you know
there
what's
in the
about
old
that?
Mullins
You
Pharmacy
get something
building.
but this is cutting through everything. This is the greatest thing about them. Something breaks down, you want something done right there, you want something designed. They do it right there. It's not mailed off, shipped off somewhere and get lost or take a month to get back. They do it right there. Great people. Russ, I think Russ is listening about every day.
Yeah, Klinger listens every day on his way to work. And when you told me about that, I took a necklace I had that was broken and I dropped it off. Well, they gave it back to me before I left. I didn't even have to leave it 24 hours.
Great people. And the thing about it,
right away.
Charlie Corns, these people, these are great people that own these businesses too. Locals here. Let's go take care of local. Don't go to some national store.
Thing, yeah,
let's take care of the local people. Also, news, if you haven't heard yet, it's weird not being down J. Michael's. The legendary J. Michael's restaurant is closed down. They're remodeling. And as soon as they open back up, we will let you know. Chuck Tucker's open, buddy, for business. The #1 closing place in the world. South Oak Title and Closing, Chuck Tucker. You're talking about the big wheels that use him, the Mark Couch of the world. South Oak Title and Closing, #1, not even close. And Glenn's one of our favorite places, El Rodeo, the Key Bar and Grill. 1 day away from Thursday, which you go in there, karaoke, have a great time. Great place to have birthday parties, lunch specials every single day. The winter weekend special, $5 pitchers, Miller Lite, Bud Light, Michelob Ultra, $20 buckets of beer. Imports are $25.
$20 buckets of beer on the wall. 25.
We'll be right back. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Mornings on ESPN Northwest Florida just got unsportsmanlike.
But ultimately, what this is going to come down to for McCarthy is not the individual statistics for Dak, but whether or not they win games when it matters most in the playoffs, and specifically getting past that glass ceiling that has been a divisional round for the Dallas Cowboys since Dak has gotten there. They haven't been to a conference championship game in 27 years. It's time to break through.
Evan, Canty, and Michelle. Weekdays 5 to 7 on ESPN Northwest Florida.
This is Joanna with ESPN Northwest Florida. Here is your weather forecast on this Wednesday morning. As we head into this afternoon and evening, clear skies and a high of 57 with a moderate breeze at 13 miles per hour out of the north. For tonight, clear skies and a low near 40. Tomorrow, wind 5 to 10 miles per hour, mostly sunny and a high around 59. For Friday, mostly clouds and a high of 66. This weather forecast is sponsored by Mid-South Lumber, the best little lumber yard in Panama City. Thank you for tuning into ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
Chuck was terrible at fishing. He spent many frustrating hours attempting to get results he saw from internet videos, aggravating trial and error fishing trips, and misguided advice from well-intended friends. Chuck is happy now with his newfound success after he visited Bay Breeze Bait and Tackle, where we keep fishing fun, simple, and successful. See us soon at Bay Breeze Bait and Tackle, located directly off Highway 98 on the west end of Panama City Beach.
Barbaritos lets you say yes to fresh. If you don't know what to eat or where to get it, well, fret no more. Barbaritos is here to help with its healthy menu, offering 7 meals with less than 500 calories. Barbaritos has lots of healthy options made with farm fresh food. Your health and your family's health matters to us. Come eat healthy at Barbaritos, 23rd Street in the Stanford Station Shopping Center near Academy Sports. Barbaritos, food, community, people.
It's the Coach James Hale Show. Live and local from the J. Michael Studio.
A lot more excitement is yet to come.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
And welcome back, 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. Let's quit the texting and call in. I don't want to listen to Miss Gay's texts right here. All right, listen. The bottom line is we have 2 experts that when they tell me something, these are 2 people. When they tell me something, I jump. I do what they tell me to do because I know how intelligent they are, beautiful,
one's
loving.
And Julie better be one.
Lorelei and Leighton Bell Hale. Lorelei Hale. Okay. They say, Papa, we're going to do it. We're going to do it.
Okay.
And they said the committee got it right. Bama should have been in there. Let's go to the game.
Yep.
They're going to destroy Michigan. Now, I don't know if they're going to destroy Michigan, but they said it, so it probably will happen. But my 2 beautiful, I don't get to see my granddaughters like I used to. We used to watch them when they before they start school and all that kind of stuff. And I miss them. I hadn't seen Leighton all week. Lorelei, I've seen him once, so I got to get my babies to the house.
Julie, I'll be calling in. He said call in, so call in and let him have it.
We got a caller? Okay. Is it Leighton or Lorelei? Okay. Let's take this call. Good morning.
I'm not Leighton or Lorelei.
What are you doing?
This is Bill.
Hey,
How
Bill.
you doing,
Hey, I'm doing great, man.
Y'all know I'm an Alabama guy.
Roll Tide.
FSU, they got hosed. I understand that. And I thought that, Glenn, I think you lay out a very good argument. But this is not an argument. This is just to carry it a step further. I want to clarify this for me. Who controls the CFP committee? Does the ESPN pick those guys? Who picks those guys to be on that committee?
It's a guy named Hancock.
The NCAA is out of it. The NCAA is out of it, but after the season's over with, they don't have anything to do with it. So who picks that committee? Is it?
It's a guy named. It's a guy named Hancock. A guy named Hancock. I don't know his first name, but he ran the NCAA commission to set up the tournament. No, not John. I know it's Bill.
Herbie Hancock.
But no, he sets them up. He sets up the commission just like he did for the NCAA basketball tournament.
Brian's on fire today.
That's where it comes from. If you look at
Bill, keep it. Listen, Alabama's in. That's the main thing. Yeah. Alabama's in.
I said that. I didn't.
No, I'm just messing with you. I'm messing with you.
So, Bill, this is going to be like when you call the technical foul on me. Now we're going to get into that argument.
Dr. Ward's going to call in at 7:30. He says he's got some information on these things you're talking about right now. Who was on the committee, what their affiliation is, and so we'll know a little bit more about that when he comes on around 7:30.
Yeah, I've taken.
Go ahead. The bad thing about it is I'm going to be out of range here soon, and I'm traveling. So I was trying to. I hate I'm going to miss that. I'd love to hear the connection, but it to me, and there again, Glenn, I'm not arguing with you at all. I think it's just about anything in life is follow the money, and but how do you? That would be one question. The other question is you've got to have at least 7 people on that committee,
right?
That vote it the way you want it to go,
right?
So how does that work? I'm not saying it didn't happen. I'm not saying it couldn't happen. I mean, it makes perfect sense to me, but there's a lot of things that have to happen right to make
I'm sorry.
in place.
Bill, we just got the answer. We just got a text in here. This is the final person who made the decision on the committee that was in the room. It's a picture of Big Al.
So
that's pretty good, Jared.
If you took the top off of it, probably Nick wearing that.
I understand. That's no problem. I just, it's just the way they've done it. So, and then the way they said, no, it's not a problem. They got dudes, they can play. So then they just turn around
I don't doubt it. I don't doubt it one bit. But when I'm like you, Coach, when I started listening to it that morning or watching it, and you had pretty much everybody on that dais there that was saying, hey, if you want the 4 best teams, starting with Herb Street, if you want the 4 best teams, you got to have Alabama in there. You got to have Texas in there. And then when they started and Texas hit 3, I said, Alabama's in.
Right.
Alabama is in.
Yeah, Bill, and I'm going to tell you honestly how I feel about it. I do think they got the 4. No, I don't. I think they got the 4 of the best, not the 4 best. But looking at Florida State without the quarterback, I don't think they should have been in. That's just me, my personal opinion. I'm not.
Well,
let me say this. But I don't know that. They took away them the opportunity to play. I also thought that Michigan would kill TCU, and that didn't happen.
Right.
But I'm being honest. Tell you what I think.
Yeah.
Yep. Well, in my opinion, Florida State deserved to be there.
Right.
But were they one of the 4 best teams? I don't think so. But they'll never get a chance to prove me wrong.
Right. And there you go. Jumping ship too.
And see, that's the biggest problem I have. If they had just said we're taking the 4 best teams and put Georgia and Alabama and Ohio State, Michigan in there, okay, I disagree with it.
Right.
But I see what they're doing. If they said we're going to put the 4 most deserving teams in there, I might disagree with that. But I see what they're doing. They didn't do either.
Right. This be up front.
And the thing was, they lied to us for 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Just tell us we're not.
I did. But then the whole time I told you they don't like Florida State. Right. There's something not right about this.
Yeah.
Now, was that quarterback healthy? Yeah.
Well, I still don't think they would have gotten him.
But I'm with you. They should have had the opportunity.
Right. But the thing is, it is what it is now, so you can't do anything about it. And then here we are trying to sue them for $1 million, and I'm like, that's it's not going to work. I mean, here's things just going to make them mad.
Well, their only hope, and I've heard some of this, and I think this is going way off the rails, but their only hope in this lawsuit is that it forces ESPN to do something related to the ACC deal to where either they get a restructured ACC contract or Florida State is able to leave without the penalty. That's what I'm hearing is the point of.
Good point.
Now, this isn't what DeSantis is talking about. This is more what you're hearing from any talk of Florida State doing any kind of lawsuit.
Right. That's a good point right there, Brian.
Hey, guys, I got to get out of here.
All right, Bill.
Great.
All right.
I'm not going to be able to listen to the rest of the show.
Bill, real quick, say that again. I couldn't hear. What are we doing?
Do what?
You said something about great. What are we doing? Say it again.
Great job.
Oh,
LP
good,
job.
yeah. Okay, I heard that time.
Apparently, Bill's drinking.
Hey, Bill, he said he'd buy you lunch, as far as you know.
Yeah.
Glenn, Glenn, draw him a picture.
Okay.
All right, buddy. Thank you, Bill. All right, let's talk about some of our great people. We got so many wonderful people. We love all of our sponsors.
We're going to have to take a 15-minute session just to name all our sponsors.
Oh, my God. Chad Mitchell, that's one of them, baby. Yep. Glenn, how many people, well, you're one of them, 25 years taking care of kids in Bay County.
Right.
You did 30-something, but still.
Yeah.
25 years, that's incredible.
I tell you what, though, when he's there, he has such a great sense of humor. But when he's there, you know your kids are protected. You know the things are going to happen right.
Absolutely. And if you get hurt, you don't have to be a great athlete.
Right.
You can look like Wildcat. I mean, even that body, he'll try to save that.
I mean, he'll me up, man. That's why I'm so damn pretty.
And even when coaches get hit on the sidelines over there,
bring me the bag of ice. Anyway, Dr. Chad Mitchell, a legendary doctor here in Bay County. If you have any type of problems, any kind of injury, go see Chad Mitchell. Make an appointment. He'll take care of you. One of my favorite places, that Cajun place on Thomas Drive. We still got it going on now. We got the bowl games coming up. We got the Army-Navy game this weekend. Get down there. When they kick off, it's 50-cent wings, $5 pitchers. Food's incredible.
Please watch that game because those people are going to be defending your country after, so.
Yeah. They'll be defending our country, inside our country.
It's a fun game to watch, too.
Those guys are dedicated to this game now. If you want to see rivalry, that's
Absolutely. Go, and we'll beat the Cajun place. Watch it, matter of fact. Try the chicken gumbo. God, it's the best I've ever had anywhere. Jane and Trudy do a great job running that, and Rick does it. One of our former players does an unbelievable job down there. But get down to that Cajun place, have a great time. Wear your school colors, man. We can debate on the stage up there. FSU over.
The Army-Navy game, they have a special place for handicaps so the president can be wheeled in there and sit.
And thank you for looking at me when you said that. Rudy's Barbecue on Baton Beach Road. You want the best barbecue around. Texas barbecue is right there at Rudy's. And Glenn, you've used them. They catered. They do a great job. What do they do?
I tell you what, they have 3 meats, and then they have two sides and the dessert, and then all the drink you want. And I tell you what, there's enough to take home. I can tell you that.
All right, we will be right back. Hopefully, Dr. Ward will call in. We're going to ask him some tough questions. You know where I had lunch at yesterday? Beef O'Brady, Tommy Santamont's, and Lynn Haven. Food was incredible. We stayed 2 hours there, just having a great time.
And Beef O'Brady's, for calling me and Brian. We appreciate our work.
Your phone, you didn't answer. We'll be right back. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
It's the PCB Hobby Takeover with Todd. Mondays at 5:20 on ESPN Northwest Florida.
That is a very high-end card and very rare.
Todd talks about coins, trading cards, collectibles, and the amazing stories behind them.
It was the first one that's ever come through my door.
Plus, we'll be taking your calls and questions at 850-215-6290. The PCB Hobby Takeover.
A platform for you to do your hobby.
Mondays at 5:20 on the Sports Talk Monster. ESPN Northwest Florida.
PCB Hobby, the beach's premier hobby store for sports cards, comics, coins, and trading card games. PCB Hobby carries the largest selection of boxes and packs from the latest releases of brands like Topps, Panini, Leaf, and more. Looking for a specific player or team? PCB Hobby has a wide assortment of raw and graded cards. They carry parallel rookie, game used, and autographed cards in both modern and vintage. Have a collection you want to sell? We buy, sell, and trade. PCB Hobby on Back Beach Road, just east of Florida Linen. Call 850-320-8388.
Hello, this is Rick Vossen with RV of Panama City, your local Stormore portable building dealer, located at 2241 East Baldwin Road. Shopping for a garage, portable building, cabin? We build them anywhere from 8 to 16 foot wide, 10 feet to 60 feet long. We can do insulation, electricity, transom dormers, thermal windows. Come, let's customize a building together. Rick Vossen, Stormore Portable Building Dealer, Panama City.
Sykes Concrete has been in business in this area since 1947, and 3 generations later, they're still going strong. See Sykes Concrete for dirt, sand, rock, and concrete. They can handle any size job from the smallest to the largest. Sykes Concrete pays CDL truck drivers some of the highest wages in Bay County, making $50,000 to $75,000 a year, including holiday and vacation pay, plus health insurance. See Hugh Sykes at Sykes Concrete, 8030 Highway 77, on the right, just north of Southport Elementary School.
It's the Coach James Hale Show.
He's the sexiest man on the planet.
Live and local from the J. Michael Studio on the Sports Talk Monster. ESPN Northwest Florida.
They're saying Bay.
Hey, Bay. All right, we're back. 104.3, ESPN Northwest Florida. You know, skin cancer can be deadly. 1 in 5 develop it. And all it takes is 5 minutes can save your life. And all you got to do, throughout Northwest Florida, call the man, the myth, the legend, Dr. Ward. Let's ask him. Dr. Ward, how you doing, sir?
I'm having a great Wednesday morning. How about you guys?
Glenn's with me. Brian's with me. Couldn't be better. And then I got you on the phone. Are you kidding me? This is like paradise.
It is.
Tell me, how do I get up with you? It doesn't look right. It doesn't feel right. I need to get Glenn in there. Where do I go?
Well, you just give us a holler at 233-3376. You can see us at one of our 8 area convenient locations in Port St. Joe, Panama City Beach, the Funiac Springs, Santa Rosa Beach, Water Sound, Mariana, or Bonifay. It takes 5 minutes to come in, get looked at head to toe. We can make sure your skin is healthy and that you're cancer-free.
There you go.
One of these days, I want to hear him do in reverse. You land, you nail them all the same. I want you to go backwards.
He can do it. He's pretty sharp now.
I know it.
All right, Doc, let's talk about your fundraiser again because I want to get involved in this. Tell us why you're doing it, who's it for, and then what everybody has a chance to win.
Absolutely. Well, we've put together a travel baseball team for 11-year-olds over in South Walton County. It's the South Walton Hawks. We got kids primarily from Walton County, but we got a kid up from the Funiac. We got a kid over in Fort Walton Beach. We got some in Panama City Beach. So it's really kind of like an area team. We're raising money so that we can supplement coaching and stuff like that for the kids. Get the equipment we need, all that. So we'll be doing a gun raffle. And the gun raffle will start in January and go through February. Ticket sales will. We're going to do the drawing on President's Day because nothing is more American than President's Day, baseball, and guns.
No doubt about it. And I think it's even better if we got 11-year-olds dealing with guns. I think it's great.
Although I may have to put a little moratorium for the first week of sales for Florida State fans because I just from what I've been seeing on social media, it might not. They might need more than just a 3-day wait.
I'm holding Glenn back. I took his bullets out this morning when he walked in.
Hey, Doc, I got a question about those prizes. So if you buy a raffle ticket, does that make you eligible to win one of 3, or are you buying a special raffle ticket for the special one of the 3?
No, it makes you eligible to win one of 3. So we will have the totality of sold raffle tickets, and we'll draw 3 tickets, and first one will be a shotgun. Okay. Really nice Benelli 20-gauge shotgun, that'll be the first one. Then it'll be a Kimber 1911 handgun, and then a sporting rifle. So yeah, we got so once your ticket's drawn and you win one of them, if you bought more than one ticket, you could win all 3. Who knows?
Yeah. Now, did you say too? Now, if you buy more, they're cheaper or something like that. Give us a little rundown how you buy these tickets.
That's right. A single ticket will be $20. But you get value if you give us $50, you get 3 tickets, and if you give us $150, you get 10 tickets. So the more you buy, the lower the price is. And the great thing, our organization is a nonprofit. It's registered with the IRS as a 501c3. So really, these aren't considered ticket sales; they're considered donations instead. So from a tax standpoint, you can save a little money.
Yep, just make sure you don't have the bullets with the guns. But I told Coach today I'm going to buy a new firearm, so you may be true about what you just said.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I do feel the way that Florida State was handled was very unfair. My heart goes out to the way that those fans and those players feel. But I do agree with Coach Hale's sports advisors, the two you were talking about before, that the committee, based on the criteria that's written out, did get it right.
Well, the thing, too, is just tell us you're not going to put us in 3 weeks before you already decided that. They lied to us. It has no impact. They got dudes, and then they just flip, which is, that's their prerogative. But just let us know. Don't be letting it, hang on the thread there. And the Tuesday before the final one, you say we're number 4 and we're in if we win.
Yeah.
And so,
well, listen. None of us were in that room to be part of their deliberations. But when you read the way that they're supposed to look at comparable teams, the highest bullet point on there, which is conference championships won, isn't even something that they can evaluate until the very last week. I really think, probably one of the biggest flies in the ointment here is that you really can't do a rank. They probably shouldn't even release rankings until the last week,
right.
because they're what according to their system what they put the highest kind of standard on. You don't even have that until the end, And the other thing I'd like to kind of just throw out there, maybe they were waiting to see if all of a sudden Florida State could put together an offense that was decent without their star QB. I do think that that they were wanting to give them a chance to prove. But we watched everybody was watching that ACC championship game, and Florida State's defense played outstanding. No one can argue that, but the offense wasn't really functional, and for that matter, the offense wasn't functional the week before against a very bad Florida Gator team in Gainesville.
Yeah, but see, they don't. Go ahead.
So I could easily see how a committee would be like, these rankings don't yet matter. Let's give them an opportunity to prove us wrong. And they did everything they could do within their control, which is why it's unfair.
Is FSU's offense any worse than Washington's defense, though?
You get your comparable teams. Conference championships won. That's why everyone's like, well, 4 best teams. They should have Georgia and Ohio State in there. No, Georgia and Ohio State did not win their conference championships. That is the top bullet point in how you're supposed to look at comparable teams. The committee appropriately said, nope, Ohio State and Georgia, you're out. That y'all aren't going to get looked at like these 5 conference champions.
Yeah.
Then you look at
Dr. Ward. Schedule. Dr. Ward.
You look at head to head. You look at comparable teams, and the very last bullet point, spelled out as plain as day, is unavailability of key players or coaches that would affect the ability to compete.
Yeah, but
it literally says that.
But I know what it says. I've read it 100 times. But I'm just telling you, Rodemaker would have been clear to play
last year. TCU got in. Ohio State got in. Neither one won their conference. Right. Neither one won their conference.
I understand. So I'm just following the money. I know.
The part to me that's missing in there is if you're a Power 5 conference champion, somewhere in there before you get to strength of schedule ought to be record, in my mind, because I think the games have to
Brian,
matter.
It's not in there, so everybody
right. I know. That's why I said should be.
Got it wrong. Well, you know who all the Florida State fans should really be complaining to? They should be complaining to John Thrasher.
That's right.
I don't disagree with that.
Florida State president, who's on the board of directors of the college football playoff.
Yeah.
Right. And they're all the ones that voted out not having the 12-team playoff this year.
Well, there was three conferences that voted it out.
Yep.
So.
Yeah. And they were one up.
Look, Alabama doesn't have someone with direct ties to their school on the board of directors of the college football playoff. We're not talking the selection committee. We're talking about the people who make the decisions for the college football playoff. Alabama doesn't have a representative. Texas doesn't have one. Florida State has John Thrasher, who is basically the biggest Florida State fan I know. He was president. He got president because he's an alumnus. Y'all complain to him. He's the one that had a seat at the table.
All right, the people on that committee.
Who was on the selection committee?
Right.
The people on the committee, how many on there had ties to the SEC?
One. There's a guy, Mitch Bernard. He is the athletic director at University of Kentucky.
Yeah.
Okay.
One. So one of the 13 had direct ties to the SEC.
All right, what about the ACC?
3 of the 13. The ACC representative is Boo Corrigan, from athletic director at North Carolina State. He represents the ACC on the committee and was chair of the committee. You have Jim Grove, who was former Wake Forest head coach. And then you have the Notre Dame AD. And I know Notre Dame does not play in the ACC in football, but they play with the ACC in all other sports. So you got 3 of those 13 with direct ties to the ACC, and only 1 of the 13 to SEC.
Yeah. All right.
My Thorzine's wearing off.
All right, Doc, let's take a break. We'll come back with Dr. Ward. Great information there on the committee and things like that. Had a great text right here from a highly intelligent source, Jason Kovaleski. He goes, let's be honest, they just make blank up. The first letter starts with an S. Anyway, good job, Jason. Tell me how you really feel, Jason. And he'll be in here on Friday. Speaking of that, you want to look better, feel better, Jason Kovaleski, Max Fit Sports Nutrition.
Absolutely.
They do a great job. We talked about yesterday, you talking about taking care of local people. Don't go to some kind of national brand on your vitamins, minerals, and things like that. Jason, go in there and talk to him. If you got a son or daughter that's in sports, go down with them. You two sit down there with him. They'll get you on a meal plan. They'll tell you what you should take, what you shouldn't take. And you don't want to be on steroids, definitely do not do that. And he'll tell you all about that stuff. The guys
I stopped by there yesterday. Hey, Glenn, this applies to you. You take the joint boost,
which is really good.
He's got a new one that's like more concentrated, and it's got collagen in it, I think.
Collagen,
I bought some of that yesterday, and it tastes pretty good.
I do that.
You only take it.
I do that in
the little one, or
greens.
did you get the big one?
Yep. Yeah, it's a bigger bottle. I went in there, but I'm not through my joint boost bottles yet. So, but it's great. They do good
stuff, man.
Glenn usually takes that joint boost, then he heads down to Newbies and has a great time. You dance so much better after you've had it. Get down to Newbies, have a great time.
I have to take the greens to recover from what the spirits that I've imbibed.
3 great locations. What's your favorite Newbies?
My favorite Newbies is the brew and booze.
That's because you start drinking early.
Well, yeah, I would drink coffee early, and then it just kind of builds up. So.
I heard you learned about that joint boost in Vietnam.
No, that was a different kind of boost.
Oh, okay.
Different kind of joint. All right, get out there to Newbies, have a great time. On the Curve now, that's where you want to go watch all the sporting events. And then the Mothership, you're going to wind up there. You know it. Everybody knows it. Legendary place. Best bands in the Southeast because Charlotte demands that. And I love John and Charlotte. They're always giving back to the community. Make sure you get out to Newbies, have a great time. Paparazzi Gourmet Deli, one of Glenn's favorite places. Just don't take him with you when you can't eat all the food they give you. Glenn always takes it home with him. He does not share. He does not share.
Born in the country, baby. You cannot waste anything.
3 restaurants from 1. Paparazzi Gourmet Deli on Thomas Drive. Be right back with the legendary Dr. Ward, 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Take ESPN Northwest Florida with you everywhere you go.
Anytime, anyplace, anywhere.
The Sports Talk and Live play-by-play doesn't have to end when you get out of the car. The ESPN Northwest Florida app streams your favorite Sports Talk hosts and the biggest games in ultra-high fidelity.
This is of utmost importance in travel.
Take the Sports Talk monster with you anywhere you go. Available for Android and iPhone.
Use it anywhere or any place. This is Joanna with ESPN Northwest Florida. Here is your weather forecast on this Wednesday morning. As we head into this afternoon and evening, clear skies and a high of 57 with a moderate breeze at 13 miles per hour out of the north. For tonight, clear skies and a low near 40. Tomorrow, wind 5 to 10 miles per hour, mostly sunny and a high around 59. For Friday, mostly clouds and a high of 66. This weather forecast is sponsored by Mid-South Lumber, the best little lumber yard in Panama City. Thank you for tuning into ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
Bill Bird Kia is giving you holiday savings during the season of giving back. Take your next holiday adventure in a brand new Kia. Now offering 1.9% APR up to 48 months on the purchase of a new 2023 Kia Sorento. You'll get the perfect balance of comfort, safety, and technology. Bill Bird Kia is the home of the 20-year, 200,000-mile warranty. Stop by and see us at 2435 East 15th Street or anytime at Bill Bird Kia, PanamaCity.com. We'll treat you like family and give you the peace of mind you can trust.
Offer from Kia Finance America for the purchase of a new 2023 Kia Sorento with $2,165 per month per 1,000 financed at 48 months. Quality is limited. No down payment required. Cannot be combined with other finance offers. The 20-year, 200,000-mile warranty is a Bill Bird Kia warranty. See dealer for complete details. Offer for well-qualified buyers. Must take delivery from dealer stock through 1/2/24.
For everything in the world of golf, it's the Watson Report. Thursdays at 4:20 with Alan Watson from Golf Plus. ESPN Northwest Florida. Now back to the Coach James Hale Show inside the J. Michael Studio.
And welcome back. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. Dr. Ward, I got a couple things I want to go with you. Anything you want to get across before I start examining you?
Ooh.
No, I'm ready, man. I got nothing else.
All right. Turn your head and cough. That's all I say.
Bend over. All right, here we go. Here we go. Does Michigan deserve to be in the playoffs with, we know they cheated. We know how the NCAA works. It'll be 3 or 4 years before they make them forfeit all their games that they've won and during this cheating scandal. Should they been allowed to play in the play? Then again, I think it's the committee's job to do that. But just give me your thoughts on that.
I believe the committee looked at the rules set in front of them and picked the teams based on the rules set in front of them. If future NCAA sanctions had been one of the criteria for them to pick, then maybe Michigan wouldn't be in, but that was not. That is not anywhere written in their selection criteria. So,
There's a lot of things not written in there, but
Michigan should be in based on the rules of how the teams are supposed to be.
Yeah. Okay. The thing is too, it's an allegation right now. It's not proven they're guilty. So I mean, even in high school,
and that has to matter too.
That has to matter too. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Good. All right. Yesterday I said something that I do believe they screwed up the NCAA, and they always do. They knew it was coming. Then they spent all the millions and millions of dollars on these lawyers, which make a killing, knowing the end results. They weren't going to win it, trying not to pay these players. They should have, in my opinion, they should have thought this through, and this is what I would have done if I would have been in charge of the NCAA or college football. You pay the players when they become sophomores, okay? And there's probably been a lawsuit about that also, to be honest with you. But let's just set it up this way and see how it goes. When you return a sophomore, you will be paid, let's say, $30,000 a year. If you stay at this same university and you're on course to graduate, you're going to class, you're doing the things you're supposed to do, the next year goes up to $45,000. In your senior years, it's $60,000 if you stay. If you transfer to another school, either in the SEC or a different other conference, you'll be paid. All transfers will be paid as sophomore rate of money. So in other words, you stay where you're at, you're going to make more money, okay, across the board. This is not NIL. This is being paid through the universities. That way, maybe they don't want to transfer out. I don't know if that would have worked or not, but paying these players as a freshman before they've really performed, they've used now all the NIL for recruiting. After saying all this, yesterday it came out, the NCAA president proposed a new creation of subdivisions allowing schools directly to pay athletes. Charlie Baker, $300,000 a year into an educational trust fund for at least half of your total number of athletes in your department. So most of them have 400 athletes, and the big schools have more. some have smaller, but on an average, you have about 400 athletes playing all these different sports. So it'd be up to the university to decide who they're going to pay. If they want to play all the football players, they could do that. They want to play some of the baseball players, some of the basketball players, and a portion of the football team, they could do that. Now, you don't have to do it. You could opt out. If you opt out, you're dead, you're gone, because it's going to kill you in recruiting. Now, over 4 years, that's $120,000, okay? Half of it, too. Now, listen, half does have to go for females, okay? Title IX. Most athletic departments have over 400 people on scholarship during the one calendar year. There's 20-something different sports. So this would cost each individual university involved in this program $6 million annually. Everybody goes, man, that's a lot of money. The Ohio State Buckeyes, they just made $250 million. Okay, but they say, like I said, a lot of money. They made $250 million, but there are also a lot of bills. What do you think about this proposal from the president of the NCAA?
Dead on arrival, never going to work. None of the top schools will participate.
Okay, explain.
And I'll tell you why, because anyone that chooses to participate in that program is at a competitive disadvantage. Title IX screws the whole deal, because you got to give half of that money to female athletes.
Right.
I mean, like, forget about it. The only place where NIL is going to be big money is in football.
Okay, wait a minute, time out. This is not NIL. This is something totally different. You still have NIL.
Oh, then you can do NIL on top. I thought you were saying it's a proposal, and if you do it, you can't do NIL.
No, this is totally separate from NIL. This is universities pay to play.
Well, I mean, I hear what you're saying, and the schools that can afford to do that will do better in all of their other sports.
Right.
But it doesn't do anything to improve the situation with NIL. I mean, you're still your football players are still gonna be making your elite ones.
Right.
If they're getting that, great. But I mean, really, are they gonna stay somewhere because of $10,000 more a year? I doubt it.
Yeah.
So some of your down the line guys may be helped by this. Look, this is what I said should have happened 40 years ago. Because I remember when I was in college 30 years ago, the thing I always found the most ridiculous was that the athletes were not allowed to have on-campus jobs, whereas everybody who was on academic scholarship could. And even if it was minimum wage, you pay a minimum wage for the time they're at practice, and that would have given them what a lot of those down-the-line guys needed. If they need to go buy a pair of shoes, they need to get extra meal here, this, that, or the other. I thought that was reasonable because they're certainly performing a service for the university.
We got $15 a month laundry money.
Yeah, and just like everybody, but just like everybody said, well, they're getting a scholarship. We're sure we're the academic people who were able to have the on-campus job. So I always thought it should be that. This is a form of that. I think it's good in and of itself. There are going to be a lot of schools that do struggle with this kind of money. I mean, there really will be. Ohio State's obviously won't, but there's a lot that will. But Doc's right. It's not going to do anything to change anything about buying players, about NIL over the top. And let's face it, nothing will. That has been going on forever. I mean, go back to SMU and long before. That's always going to be there. I think this is a good thing just in terms of paying the down-the-line athletes who are not allowed to have jobs on campus.
Yeah. Back in the day, Doc, we got $15. Then they stopped that. You had your football. But to be honest with you, we didn't need anything else. We were happy, man. We had the best food. We flew on the best planes. We stayed at the best hotels. We ate all we wanted to eat. I thought, man, I was born in heaven. I thought it was great what we set up. But they took away that $1,500. But you know how we made our money? I always sold, when we played Alabama, we'd sell our Alabama tickets, and we could sell them for whatever we could get. And then the NCAA stopped that. You weren't supposed to sell them for more than what they were worth, but we all did. The boosters would come, the people that knew had money. That's another way the players made their money. You had boosters that would buy those tickets for a lot of money. And they just across the board. Florida players could do it, Alabama players. But anyway, what's your thoughts on all this, Doc?
Again, just it really good for some of the kids in other sports, but high level football, NIL still rules the day. It won't change transfer portal. It won't change any of the
All right, quick question for you. Quick question for you. This is not a political question. This is a fact. How are they going to handle the transgender? How do they do that with Title IX? You got to get, got to have so many females. How's that going to play into effect? Are they going to have to write something in there for transgenders or what?
Well, Florida's, a bunch of states have already said that they're not going to allow, that you got to compete based on your biological sex. So, the fact that we've had to talk about this is absolutely ridiculous. And I would like to challenge every college football fan out there that's upset about Florida State not getting selected to take that energy and focus it on stuff that really matters for our kids and grandkids. So mutilating children's, private parts is a much bigger issue in this country than 3 college football games to be played in January. And I wish our politicians and our people would care more about issues like that.
Right.
Than about this.
I got one more question. What about Ed Orgeron going to Florida to be the defensive line coach?
Is that true?
I don't know. I said, do you think they should have him, or he's out there?
Well, we had a caller call in and ask if the rumor was true.
Right.
Well, I hope Florida doesn't have any boosters with pregnant wives who are filling up their gas tanks. That's all I worry about.
I hadn't heard anything official on that, but heck, I'd take Coach O.
Hey, I'm going to tell you what, he can recruit now.
He can, and you wouldn't have to pay him anything. You wouldn't have to pay him anything.
Hey, Bobby Petrino's back. Hugh Freeze is back.
Yep.
Come on, Coach O.
Come on, baby.
Come on home, baby. We'll take you. I'll tell you what, I think it's a good race.
Go Gators. Go Gators. Go Gators.
All right. Hey, you made a great point. We got to go, but you got to make a great point. I wish they cared more about the damn border than the bowl games. I really do.
Heck yeah.
You see all these.
Heck yeah.
What the heck?
Hey, let's go to a break.
Yeah, how can you leave China?
Play him off, John.
I know it. Unbelievable. All right, we'll be right back. Hey, Doc, thank you so much, buddy. We'll talk to you next week.
See you, Doc.
Yes, sir. Y'all have a great day.
104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
We're caught in a trap. I can't walk out.
104.3 ESPN is above the rim. Exciting college basketball is back. Tune in every Saturday for the biggest games in college basketball, plus marquee evening matchups during the week. The Round Ball. And it goes for the win! You want it. You need it. And we've got it. College basketball plays here. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
This is Joanna with ESPN Northwest Florida. Here is your weather forecast on this Wednesday morning. As we head into this afternoon and evening, clear skies and a high of 57 with a moderate breeze at 13 miles per hour out of the north. For tonight, clear skies and a low near 40. Tomorrow, wind 5 to 10 miles per hour, mostly sunny and a high around 59. For Friday, mostly clouds and a high of 66. This weather forecast is sponsored by Mid-South Lumber, the best little lumber yard in Panama City. Thank you for tuning into ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
Sykes Concrete has been in business in this area since 1947, and 3 generations later, they're still going strong. See Sykes Concrete for dirt, sand, rock, and concrete. They can handle any size job from the smallest to the largest. Sykes Concrete pays CDL truck drivers some of the highest wages in Bay County, making $50,000 to $75,000 a year, including holiday and vacation pay, plus health insurance. See Hugh Sykes at Sykes Concrete, 8030 Highway 77 on the right, just north of Southport Elementary School.
WGSX Lynn Haven, WVLQ Port St. Joe, the Sports Talk Monster. ESPN Northwest Florida.
Hi folks, it's Tracy from Tracy's Fine Jewelry. Santa called and he asked me to help everyone get ready for Christmas and avoid the stress and rush. So we've stocked the store with all of our favorite pieces of gold jewelry, chains, bracelets, pendants, and earrings. Whatever you're looking for, Tracy's Fine Jewelry has the largest selection and the best prices in town. Looking for a curb chain for Dad? Tracy's has it. A gold cross for your sister? Tracy's has it. Even those white gold hoop earrings? Yep, that's right folks, Tracy's has it. So shop where Santa shops. Tracy's Fine Jewelry inside Coin and Bullion Reserves.
Put down your natural light. It's time for the Alabama Update. The Alabama Update, weekday mornings at 8. on the Coach James Hale Show in 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Roll Tide, roll. Alabama Crimson Tide. Brought to you by Stevenson Air Conditioning. Stevenson Air Conditioning. Again, we're talking about local people, Glenn.
Yep, absolutely.
Somebody went to Mosley High School, born and raised here.
He's overcome a lot. I mean, to get his business started, things like that, and he does a great job.
I think you meant because he went to Mosley. I think that's what I heard you say.
No.
I can read back what you said.
It is not what you know; it's what you can prove.
I can read back what you said.
We don't need help firing up the phone lines today.
No, I know a lot of people, but that's a great.
Are we clear?
We're clear. Clear.
Clister. Anyway, Stevenson Air Conditioning #1. I got to call Debbie and get him to come out and service mine because I want it to last longer. I want it to run better. I want to save money on my power bill because it's going to get cold. I think tonight's going to be like in the 30s.
Right.
So we need to get Steve.
But the thing about it is they won't sell you something you don't need. That's what I like.
They're honest. They're good people. They're really great people there. Family owned, great people. I love seeing that truck throughout Bay Point. Stevenson Air Conditioning #1. Love those people down there. All right, let's get into it. Alabama, Melrose. You know, a lot of people thought he'd be invited to the Heisman watch. I didn't think so. And quite honestly, I didn't think he was high enough up there to get it this year. Next year, maybe. We got a phone call? Okay, only for this guy, I'll let them interrupt the Alabama update. Let's take this call because he's probably... I think he's calling in to say that Michigan is going to pull out, let Florida State come in because of all their sins that they have committed. Go ahead, Michigan Eddie. How you doing, sir?
Go Blue Truck there is bring around 30 back, couldn't secure the border. Anyway, I gotta say this, Coach Manley. Thank you for being a voice of reason, Coach Manley, because the Buckeye twins wouldn't let me really speak yesterday, and I couldn't get a word edgewise. They're just so butthurt that Michigan's flipped their keys 3 times in a row, and even after Michigan allegedly stole signs, if they still didn't change their signs, that coaching staff is just a bunch of dumb butts who didn't do the right thing and change their signs anyway. And it's all alleged and not proven. So thank you, Coach Manley. I love you for being a sense of reason on this show.
That could be the first time I've been accused of being a source of reason. That's all I can tell you that.
Yeah. And Brian, valid point about, they always say defense wins championships, right?
Yeah.
And Florida State got wrong because they've proven they can win with a subpar offense due to Jordan Travis not being there, and they found ways to win. And that is the true character of a team. Bo Schembechler would be proud. And you made a valid point about, if you're saying about Florida State's offense, then what about Washington's defense, which is atrocious?
It is.
Great valid point, by the way, brother. Great valid point.
Okay, you mentioned Glenn, you mentioned Brian. I'm waiting. I'm waiting. What great points did I?
For you, Coach, I'm waiting for where we're going to lunch today, by the way. And I want to say, I texted you yesterday, you should be proud because for the Rose Bowl, Michigan and Bama are going back to their traditional uniforms, navy blue and maize, I believe, for Michigan, and I believe it's all white for Alabama. So it's good they're keeping with not the alternative stupid uniforms, but the traditional ones at the granddaddy of them all, the best bowl game of all. And if you've never been to the Rose Bowl, all you guys need to put that on your bucket list and go because it is just beautiful. The grass is pristine. The stadium's in a valley. They have some great flyovers for that game, and it is just Pasadena is just beautiful. If you've never been, you've got to go.
Let me ask something because I get mixed reports on that. Jeremy Pruitt, the former Tennessee head coach, he told me, he said, I don't know, he said, it didn't turn me on. He says the stadium's really old. It has all that history there. That's pretty cool. But the stadium, he goes, it's so old and everything like that. He wasn't that excited about it. So you've been there.
It's not modern. I mean, it's one level. Like it's not like
down
upper decks. Yeah, but it goes up. So it goes way back. If you're in the top row, it's not that you're so high. You're way back, but you actually tailgate on a golf course. I mean, the golf course all around the stadium. You've got mountains in the background. It's gorgeous. I'm not making this up. I do have to tell you this. When I went out there to watch Alabama lose to UCLA in 2000, which I'm still angry about, I did have to laugh because on the mountainsides, all these beautiful multi-million-dollar homes and all overlooking it, I started cracking up. My friend said, "What's so funny?" And I pointed and I said, "Look, there's one double-wide trailer on the side of the mountain. I mean one. And it's got a Roll Tide banner hanging on it. You couldn't script it any better. No, I loved it. Look, it's not the newest, most modern stadium. It doesn't have all the, accoutrements of any of that stuff, but it is history. It's a beautiful area out there in California.
Wherever you sit, is it a pretty good seat?
Yeah, you can. I mean, I'm sure if you were on the top row, you'd be way away, but you're not real high. So if you've got, you might be, depending on what you do before the game, but you're not real high up in the air, so you don't have the issue of worried about how steep up you are.
When he says that?
I just have a lazy eye, that's all. But no, Michigan A's right. And I didn't go to the Rose Bowl game. I just went to the stadium, so I can imagine for the Rose Bowl game, it's even that much bigger.
Talk about that, Michigan. Do you agree with that?
No, I agree. It is a little antiquated. It does need some renovations and all that, but dude, I love the old Tiger Stadium because of the history. Back in the day, one of the original baseball stadiums, right? And to get to the Rose Bowl, you actually have to go through some pretty nice neighborhoods to get to it because neighborhoods basically surround it on the side that's not the mountain, right? Mm-hmm. And a lot of if people want to go to the Rose Bowl, a lot of those citizens, those California citizens, they actually Airbnb their houses, and a lot of the college fans go there and rent the houses for a week or whatever and have a good time, just walk over to the stadium. I mean, it's beautiful. And you got the Rose Bowl parade in the morning.
Do you fly into Pasadena or do you fly into L.A.?
Out of Panama City, you can probably fly into LAX or Orange County. Delta serves that. And here is also, this is what we're thinking of doing. We're thinking of actually flying into Vegas because Vegas is actually cheaper, and then doing the 4 or 5 hour drive from Vegas.
I've heard people do that. Yeah, you can get a party, but I know a former player, DeBose. They flew into Vegas and had a bus. I think a party bus or a bus take them from there. A bunch of people.
Don't bother checking San Diego because tickets are just as expensive flying at LAX. Or more.
Yeah. What the hotel rooms probably expensive in Pasadena compared to Vegas?
Well, I get a deal in Vegas. I'm not really worried about Vegas. Vegas's hotel rooms are skyrocketing because it's just the place to go. Yeah. So luckily, I get the government rate and all that, so I get a good deal. So if you're military or whatever, government, civil service, that's the way to go. And when you go to the Rose Bowl, we stay in Anaheim by Disneyland. So then we just drive over that way because we get a good rate at one of the hotels by Disneyland. So that is what we do. But you can stay anywhere you want in L.A., depending on your fancy, if you will. You know what I mean?
I got you. So, all right, I want to ask you a question about Bama. You're getting ready to face them. Melrose did not make the final, and I agree with this. I don't think he should have. I mean, some people, Bama fans, are disappointed. I'm not. Daniels, I think, should win it from LSU. Oregon's Bo Nix is in it. I think he lost it when they played Washington. And Washington's quarterback's in it. He's a pretty good quarterback. And you got Ohio State's unbelievable receiver is in there. So that's your Final Four. What did you think? If you're a Bama fan, would you be upset? I'm not. What do you think about Melrose? You're getting ready to face him. What's your scout report on him?
I think Milroe is a quarterback that Michigan has yet to see because they had trouble with Talua Tua's brother.
Yeah.
Usually they have a trouble with mobile quarterbacks. So I'm kind of worried about that, but Coach Harbaugh on the staff will get them coached up and all that. But here's a problem that I got, going back to the playoff committee. If Jordan Travis was so valuable to FSU and he's one of the better quarterbacks in the nation, why wasn't he nominated for the Heisman?
They don't like
if he was so valuable and was all that.
Wait a minute. We're calling the committee right now. Let's get them on here.
We've called them a lot. But
the college football committee is a bunch of horse pucky, and they need to go back to grade school, wherever they got their degrees from, instead of School of House Knitting and all that, because they're a bunch of morons on that committee. Yeah. What they did, honestly, was a travesty to FSU. And honestly, you want to know something? Even though Texas beat Alabama early in week 2, Alabama knocked off the number 1 team in the nation. So that should have been irrelevant for the most part. Because,
I don't know about that.
No, because Bama came and beat the number 1 team, and they had a better victory than Texas out of the 2.
We lost at home.
Head-to-head's got to matter.
Yeah, we lost at home.
It does in a way, unless you just defeated the number 1 ranked team in the country that has a how many win streak? 29-game win streak?
Look, I'm an Alabama fan. I'm an Alabama fan, but that needs to come third. If they've got an equal record, which is first, it needs to go to head-to-head after that, then to what you said. So, as much as I love Bama, I think they're probably better right now than Texas. Head-to-head's got to matter. It's got to matter what you do on the field. It just does.
Well, it does, but it does, but it's just so stupid.
See, Michigan, I was thinking just like you're talking. I was trying to make excuses to put them over.
Yeah.
Texas when I thought it was going to be. I really thought it was going to be between Texas and Alabama. I didn't think Florida State was. I thought they were in, and because they won 13 games. Now, do I think the committee got it right without Florida State's quarterback not being available? I don't think they're better than those 4 teams. That's just opinion.
Well, then Ohio State shouldn't have got in with Cordell Jones either back in the day.
Yeah,
they did not stick with precedent. And that's what's so screwed.
Well, I will say this. He played in the championship game, and they scored 59 points, and that offense looked pretty good with him at the quarterback.
Well, also...
Yeah, but defense matters, too.
Well, Rodemaker would have been well, so...
right.
Yeah, but anyway.
Yeah.
Well, I will even say this. 1992, we couldn't throw the ball across the yard. 1992, we won the national championship.
Go back that far. Go back
with
to
defense. Well, I'm talking about winning the championship. We won it with the defense in 92.
Well, yeah.
And Jay Barker.
Yeah.
How about,
with a lot of sorry
2009 when you didn't throw a pass and you had Greg McElroy there?
Well, that's what I'm saying. But the thing about it was sad. They didn't get a chance to show.
No.
But the committee knows the future. I just found out who's really behind. Wait a minute. Oh, hell. You ain't going to believe this. You're not what?
It's Putin's fault. It's always Putin's fault.
Has been on the committee the entire year. We just found that out. Biden just told us that. Putin has been on the committee the entire year.
It's Brandon's fault. Or the resident in charge.
All right, let's see.
But anyway, getting back to your question, you know who I want to see when?
All right, we got to go. We got to
go, Coach.
Hold on for a minute. We'll hold you over just for a second. Let you get your point in there. We'll be nice to you. Hey, I hope you're feeling better, too. All right, let's talk about some of our great people. Michigan Eddie, what you want to do, you got a beautiful wife. You got a great family. You got a great daughter and son. What's he need to do? Wildcat, where's he need to go? Adamson's.
That's right.
Get down there.
9th and 77. Treat her right.
Great jewelry, baby. They got the best. They make it there. If you get anything broke, tore up, if you didn't buy it there, you got something broke, take it there. They'll fix it right there. They're not going to mail it off for a month. They'll get it done right there. They do an incredible job. Where's it located?
It's right there at 9th and 77, right in the old Mullins Pharmacy.
Are they nice people?
They're great people.
We love them. Get down there. We're going to go buy something from them. Make sure you do the same thing. All your Christmas shoppings, that's where you need to be. David Adamson's jewelry store. Unbelievable.
Yep.
And, Glenn, after that, you know where we can go? We can go to
Charlie
Corn's Place.
Where's
it located?
Place, right there on 15th Street, across from one of the famous law firms. And Joe, you know what I'm saying?
Well, I would say it's a famous lawyer.
The
Robert Fleming.
Robert Fleming.
He is the star of that operation.
I tell you what, I'm just waiting for the heaven.
I don't even know the other two, but Robert Fleming is the guy. He's like Perry Mason. I love that guy.
He's certainly the tallest.
Charlie and Linda doing a great job. I think they've had a restaurant since 1986.
Yep.
It's unbelievable. They've been open now since 10/17/23, the new location. Private dining room in the back, up to 25 people. I think that's where me, you, and Michigan Eddie will sit.
That's true. Just so that we can't make any noise.
The next Leighton and Lorelei NIL room.
Ooh, good job. Good job.
But I tell you what, though, if you're up 231, Charlie's Corn's Place up there just as good now.
Beef tips, 2 sides and tea, $11.20. Can you beat that, man? Right. Unbelievable. What about the chicken Philly fries and tea for $10.85?
Everything is good.
Meatloaf, 3 sides and a tea, $11.20. Let's go. You're buying. Okay. We'll be right back. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
ESPN Northwest Florida is taking it to the hole. Your home for the most live college basketball on the Gulf Coast. The ACC, SEC, and the biggest games in the country. Plus the official station of March Madness.
The Panhandle's destination for live play-by-play.
Hear every slam dunk in ultra-high fidelity right here.
ESPN, Northwest Florida.
This is Joanna with ESPN Northwest Florida. Here is your weather forecast on this Wednesday morning. As we head into this afternoon and evening, clear skies and a high of 57 with a moderate breeze at 13 miles per hour out of the north. For tonight, clear skies and a low near 40. Tomorrow, wind 5 to 10 miles per hour, mostly sunny and a high around 59. For Friday, mostly clouds and a high of 66. This weather forecast is sponsored by Mid-South Lumber, the best little lumber yard in Panama City. Thank you for tuning into ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
PCB Hobby, the beach's premier hobby store for sports cards, comics, coins, and trading card games. PCB Hobby carries the largest selection of boxes and packs from the latest releases of brands like Topps, Panini, Leaf, and more. Looking for a specific player or team? PCB Hobby has a wide assortment of raw and graded cards. They carry parallel rookie, game used, and autographed cards in both modern and vintage. Have a collection you want to sell? We buy, sell, and trade. PCB Hobby on Back Beach Road, just east of Florida Linen. Call 850-320-8388.
Los Rancheros has been doing it right for 20 years. Los Rancheros brings a top-shelf dining experience to you with the opening of their beautiful new building. Watch all college and pro games on Los Rancheros' 14 large-screen TVs with great drink specials daily from 2 to 5 and during all the games. Los Rancheros, the place for live sports and great food on 23rd Street between Jenks and Harrison.
Broadcasting live from the Redneck Riviera. It's the Coach James Hale Show inside the J. Michaels Studio. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Eagle! Hey, you going to the bowl game?
Yeah,
you got family going?
No, my sister's flying in from Mexico, but her arms are going to be tired.
Well, does they still have their house in Nashville?
Yeah, but they rented,
so I can.
They rented it, so
never mind.
But you can stay at Auburn at a condo.
I want to stay. I want to go to Nashville, stay at her house free. She'd let me. I know she
would. Yeah.
Anyway, Auburn's got a big bowl game. Music City Bowl, great location, great time there. This is going to be the future big, huge bowl game. They're going to build that indoor facility. They're going to put a push for the national championship game, and they're going to make this bowl game bigger. And would you rather be safe in Nashville, even though I love New Orleans? Golly, I love going down there for bowl games, but it's not the safest place in the world.
You realize that the stadium's right across the street from the county jail, right?
See, you know you're safe there. There are police around.
Right.
All right, let's let him finish his point. We got to get some local stuff in here today.
Right.
We're gonna go out on Florida State. Okay.
Okay.
All right, Miss Kennedy, real quick, what you got?
Well, I think.
Thank you. All right, we'll be right back. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Oh, okay, whatever. Anyway, I think Marvin Harrison Jr. I like to see him win the Heisman. I really do.
Who?
Marvin Harrison Jr.
From Ohio State.
Okay, he's an unbelievable football player. I'm with you. He's good. He's not.
Really
Daniels going to win.
Yeah, I think Jane Daniels will win, but I want to see Marvin Harrison Jr. win. I think he's an outstanding young man, and he's a great football player. And I just wish he would have had I know a lot of Buckeye fans wish he had a better surrounding cast around him, coaching and maybe quarterback, because his only goal to Ohio State was to beat Michigan and go to the Big Ten title game, and he never got to do either.
Absolutely. Hey, great point. Thank you for calling. You have a wonderful day. We love you. And are you definitely going to the Rose Bowl?
More than likely.
All right.
That's a
Let me know where you're staying.
And by the way, Coach Manley, I guess the Tennessee High School Football Championships was Baylor and McCallie. I guess they had 11 to 15 D1 recruits, and I guess every SEC college coach was there for that game. Just saying.
And one of their former players just transferred out of the school. He said unbelievable football player. Texas, I think, is trying to get him. Or maybe transferred out of Texas.
Just keep in mind, too, that anybody who goes from Baylor or Macaulay on to a Division I university will pay less in tuition their first year at college than they do at Baylor or Macaulay.
Yes.
Over $30K a year.
Yep.
Yeah.
So but you get the best
like
ones in
IMG.
Right.
All right, thank you, Miss Gay. We got to get some
All
local
right,
stuff
I'm out.
in.
You go blue.
Yep.
All right, go quickly.
First of all, let me just say that FSU, the girls soccer team won the women's soccer team won their 4th national championship.
Hey.
All right, so they beat Stanford 5-1. This is their 4th. 2014, 2018, and 2021, and now 2023. So congratulations to them. And I won't get into the other because we know who's coming in and out of portals all over the world. But I want to say Bay High's soccer team, girls and the boys teams, they both played Rutherford on Monday. They won 5-1 for the boys, 3-1 for the girls, and they will play Mosley tonight. And also the boys play Tate. They travel. And our girls weightlifting team lifted against North Bay Haven. North Bay Haven won the Olympic 50-40, but our girls came back. Bay High won the traditional 51-39. Coach Bailey's got them going. And our boys basketball team right now is 2-2. They lost to Choctaw last night, and they will play Mariana tomorrow night. And our girls are 1-3, and they play Tate tonight at 6:30. So congratulations to all of them, and that's a quick update. But go Tornadoes!
Let's take this phone call.
Right.
Good morning, sir.
Hey, can you hear me?
No.
Yes, sir. We can hear you.
Yeah, do you want to hear me?
Yes, sir. We love you.
I got
Glenn
advice
doesn't.
for you, and Glenn and Brian can back me up on this. If you go to the Music City Bowl, do not stay between 10th and 13th Street on Glenn's side of the river. Okay?
That would be the east side.
Stay above 13th Street because, I mean, the Casey homes and their business plan in the evenings is kind of dangerous over near the stadium.
Yeah, I was going to say, if you stay there, you'll be staying there permanently.
Walk across the bridge to my side of the river where all the good bars are. Right?
Hey, I owe you a 12-pack. We got stomped by Alcoa.
Oh, I thought you didn't take that bet. I mean, that was a cruel bet. 9 times in a row
I know.
for Alcoa.
I
I'd like
know.
to see Alcoa play. Who won, Macaulay or Baylor?
Yeah, Macaulay.
I'd like to see Alcoa play them.
Yeah.
You know.
That'd be good.
Anyway, enough high school stuff. Kudos to the fabulous Jamaican girls on the FSU soccer team.
That's correct.
Keep on smoking, babes. You're great. Anyway, I didn't call. I called to talk about Coach Parker winning the Broyles Award yesterday. The only defensive coach there.
Wow.
Yeah. He beat out Bobo and the guy from LSU whose name I can't remember, and the young man from Oregon whose name I can't remember. Mark May is the MC again. This is a great award ceremony. Y'all ought to try to go next year. It's at Oaklawn Park next year. Stay over and watch the ponies run, maybe. Anyway, which is what I'd like to do Friday, or I might listen to Mariana and Bay. I don't know. I wish all y'all the best. There's a new thing out about NIL. The eggheads, after 30 months of thinking it over, have come up in Big Ten country, and Ohio State's already endorsed it, where they pay the kids a pittance and it goes into a trust fund. And we got to be sure to be equal with the fabulous women because of Title IX.
Yeah.
No, that's wrong. Get better lawyers, guys. I was going to tell you about Coach Parker. He played for Coach Saban.
Really?
There were 3 guys that have never been in the Broyles Award. Well, Bobo and the guy from LSU have been head coaches, I think. And, of course, Coach Moore's going to be one. I was really pulling for Coach Moore of the Maize and Blue because his team was he was the line coach. You'll like this coach. Both coaches, all the coaches. Least penalized line in the country. That's what Michigan's got over everybody.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now back to Coach Parker and his Saban story. He played for Coach Saban, never coached under. He's only coached at Toledo and Iowa in like 36 years of coaching. He doesn't bounce around. He's dedicated to his team and the university. And I'm glad he won, but they couldn't make a wrong decision, unlike the committee this past weekend. But I told John I got advice for FSU. Just beat Georgia, okay? Just beat. Anyway, are y'all still there?
Yeah, I'm enjoying listening to you.
Stunned into
like
silence.
Wendell or something. But which I deserved. I apologize for drinking too much when I was on hold the other day. But if I were down there, you know where I'd get it? Newbies.
That's right.
They're the
That's
sponsor
right.
that I this the most. But back on Coach Parker and the Saban story, goes way back to this big game against Iowa. Ironically, he played for Michigan State, and he got pulled on the big play down, and he got replaced by a guy who'd given up a touchdown earlier in the game. And he said, I don't know who called the play. They argued about it, Chuck Long, Hayden Fry, the OC. He said, but I know who pulled me out of that game when I knew I shouldn't come out. You know who he said?
Nick Saban.
Nick Saban, yeah. Goes to show you, even the best can make mistakes.
There you go, bro.
You know? And the committee tried hard, but I'm sorry for FSU, but just go beat Georgia, okay?
Right.
And I don't want to talk about the past anyway, except this. Tennessee's in the Citrus Bowl for, I'm sure, what's a new record, which they held before. So there you go, little Spurrier, Manly. You got your wish, about us sucking. Y'all have a great rest of the week.
All right, Mike.
Think about
Thank
this,
you, buddy.
Mike. Think about this, Mike. Derek Mason may be at Middle Tennessee.
Yeah.
That's
well.
He's got that connections in Tennessee.
Hey, Derek Mason, which one are you talking about? The one that can't talk and went to Michigan State that played for the Titans
I'm
and the
talking
Ravens?
former head coach at Vandy.
Titans for money.
Yeah,
But Derek Mason, the coach, he's a good D coordinator.
Yeah.
He was.
Mike.
Until they made him a head coach at Vandy.
Call us
Bye
tomorrow.
now.
Call us tomorrow. All right, Mike. Thank you,
All
sir.
right, bye, Mike.
All right, let's talk about some more of our wonderful, wonderful people. I love Patrick. He does a great job with our yard. It looks absolutely beautiful. He can do the same thing for you. Turf Pro Pest Control is #1. Ask Glenn. They will come in. They'll spray it down. It'll look fine. Turf Pro Pest Control #1. Jim Dickerson, State Farm. I don't care about the State Farm part of it. I care about my agent. My agent is the one that takes care of me. He's going to get you what you deserve. He will fight for you. Jim Dickerson's unbelievable. Remember the name, Jim Dickerson. 763-4673. Jim Dickerson. No doubt about it, he's #1. Paparazzi Gourmet Deli, 3 restaurants in one. The deli is unbelievable. Try their lasagna. Oh my goodness. You've had it. It's unbelievable. And then the bakery is my favorite.
Right.
Paradise Cake, Napoleon, and the carrot cake. Those 3 right there. They got all kind of other stuff there, but those 3, try all of them. You'll love them, especially the Paradise Cake.
You try them all at once.
What do you think is about the pizza, though? It's just something different.
I think it's the way it's cooked with the stone things, and then also
the ingredients are great.
And then the ingredients is in it. Yeah.
And you know a great thing about Paparazzi? John's a retired police officer.
Right.
That reason alone, we need to be down and supporting those people.
Right.
And they do a great job. Paparazzi Gourmet Deli. Just ask Glenn, ask Brian. Beef O'Brady's in Lynn Haven. Thank you, Pat, for the Auburn update that we didn't do. Appreciate it. You do a great job. Had a great lunch there yesterday. It was outstanding. Tommy got the wings. Mm-hmm. He thought it was Wednesday, but he got the wings. Thank you, Tommy. But the food's unbelievable. Great atmosphere. We sat there and talked for about an hour and a half, seriously. And with the people behind us, we were kind of easily listening to them. What were they talking about? Everything we talked about on the show.
Right.
About Florida State getting in, not getting out, getting in. It was pretty impressive. We said hi to them as we walked by. And they said,
Did you have an Alabama shirt on?
Yeah. Anyway, get out there to Beef O'Brady's and have a great time. All right, we'll be right back. Hopefully, Mark McLeod, the Florida Gators. Mark's extremely happy the way things worked out for Florida State, as far as you know. I'm lying. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Set your alarm clock to wake up with the Coach Hale Show on ESPN Northwest Florida. In-depth local and college sports from expert insiders and a dash of controversy.
Can be deadly.
Weekday mornings 7 to 9.
Nothing says good morning like a drunken human alarm clock.
You're live from the J. Michaels studio.
We all know he loves the Florida Gators, but that's okay.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
I can control the world.
Sykes Concrete has been in business in this area since 1947, and 3 generations later, they're still going strong. See Sykes Concrete for dirt, sand, rock, and concrete. They can handle any size job from the smallest to the largest. Sykes Concrete pays CDL truck drivers some of the highest wages in Bay County, making $50,000 to $75,000 a year, including holiday and vacation pay, plus health insurance. See Hugh Sykes at Sykes Concrete, 8030 Highway 77 on the right, just north of Southport Elementary School.
PCB Hobby, the beach's premier hobby store for sports cards, comics, coins, and trading card games. PCB Hobby carries the largest selection of boxes and packs from the latest releases of brands like Topps, Panini, Leaf, and more. Looking for a specific player or team? PCB Hobby has a wide assortment of raw and graded cards. They carry parallel rookie, game used, and autographed cards in both modern and vintage. Have a collection you want to sell? We buy, sell, and trade. PCB Hobby on Back Beach Road, just east of Florida Linen. Call 850-320-8388.
So you've heard the saying that if you love your job, you'll never have to work? Well, it's true.
I've worked for Brock Lawn and Pest Control for many years. The commitment to the needs of customers
and their commitment to each employee makes Brock a company I'm very proud to be a part of.
Brock's core values are also mine. Give people more than they expect and always honor your promises.
This isn't a job, it's a service to help people live a healthier lifestyle.
Brock Lawn and Pest Control, our family protecting your family.
It moves fast. The High School Spotlight. Weekdays at 5:40.
Let's do it.
Sponsored by Barbaritos. Now back to the Coach James Hale Show inside the J. Michael Studio. ESPN Northwest Florida.
And when you got 90,000 people all chomping at the same time.
The Florida Gator Update with guest Mark McLeod. Insider information you can't get anywhere else. Now back to the Coach James Hale Show. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Go, Gators! Florida Update. We got the man, the myth, the legend. Everybody who listens at 8:30 Central Time because we all have Mark McLeod. Mark, how you doing, buddy?
Hey, doing well, Coach. Good morning.
Good morning. I want to thank Florida for everything you've caused. Our show has been outstanding. The ratings going through the roof because that dirty hit you made on Florida State's quarterback has caused all these problems in college football. Florida Gators are behind all of it. Thank you, sir.
That's a good one. That's one I hadn't actually heard yet.
Yeah.
I've heard Alabama. I've heard Greg Sankey. A little Kirby Smart, but that's
the Gators. Yeah, that double whammy late hit on the quarterback sliding on first base, dirty play. You spit on him, which was ugly and nasty in that late hit. It was all the Florida Gators. Hey, do you know who Richard Blackman is of the SEC Conference? Do you know who that is?
Richard Blackman?
Yeah. It has his name beside at Southeastern Conference. Breaking. The College Football Playoff Committee decides to favor Alabama over Florida State, and the College Football Playoff is expected to save ESPN an estimated $150 million in potential revenue losses based on viewership projections and advertising deals.
Pretty good. Pretty good deal for ESPN.
Don't look at me in that.
There's no politics involved.
I've taken Thorazine already, so don't be looking at me.
But there's absolutely no doubt they were scared to death of not having an SEC team in the playoff. I mean, they just
money.
I get it.
Hey, I got something unrelated to those topics. How about the rumor is that Coach Orgeron may be coming to Florida.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Did you hear that, Mark? Talk about that.
Yeah, that's been out for 2 or 3 days, and it's a strong rumor, So you wonder, and look, when you look at coaches, you look at job openings. What do you look at? Who have they crossed paths with previously? Orgeron, Louisiana guy, and of course Coach Napier, coaching 5 years at the University of Louisiana. Guarantee you, their paths have crossed many times.
I guarantee you this: their defensive line will play 100% better. That guy can coach ball now. He is a great position coach. And he is a great recruiter.
He comes free. You don't have to pay him. He's already got millions.
Yeah, I mean, really. I wonder what they will pay him. You think it's going to happen? I think it's a home run. I think bring him on. You want to win?
I hope it does happen. Because he's also a great recruiter.
Yeah, great recruiter.
What Florida really needs right now, guys, is guys in the transfer portal. And I guarantee you, those guys in the transfer portal, they know Ed Orgeron. Some of these high school kids, I'm sure they know the name. There's no question. They know the name. They know. But the kids that are, been in college 3 years, 2 years, 4 years, whatever it may be, they know the name Ed Orgeron. And, he can tell them, hey, look, I coach this guy up, I coach this guy, and help them get to the league. That would be a big plus for the Gators.
Mark, all of his experience as a defensive coordinator, as a head coach, I think it's a home run. Not only recruiting, I hope he's co-defensive coordinator. If he's not, he's still going to have a lot of input. Good and well, they're going to, drill him for information. The guy knows what he's doing. I think it's a home run. What's the negative? What's the negative? What is the? There's no negative. Everybody in the country knows who he is. I think he's great. What do you think?
Yeah, well, look, we're a country, and college football, just ask Nick Saban, is a world where guys who have fallen on hard times can get an opportunity to build their career and step back up. And this would be one for Ed Orgeron. We've seen that with Lane Kiffin. You've seen that most recently with Bobby Petrino and some of the things going on. I'm waiting to see if it'll happen with Jeremy Pruitt, guys, to be honest with you, because I'll tell you what, that's a guy Nick Saban would love to have in Tuscaloosa, Alabama.
He'd be back tomorrow if Nick had had
Yes, he would be. Yeah. He would be. And it's my understanding that in years past, Alabama's already made that call to see if he would be available to come back, and they've been turned down.
Now, I'm going to tell you, anybody that says bad things about Jeremy, I love Jeremy Pruitt. I know him. I love him. I think he's a great guy.
Yeah.
I love Charlie Pell, okay? And everybody thought he's the biggest cheater in the world. Charlie Pell is a great man. I can't say, never say anything bad about Charlie Pell. And that's the same thing with Jeremy Pruitt. I like him. I know about the McDonald's bags and stuff like that. But there's a lot of people out there in college football that have done things that never got caught. So I just leave it at that.
Yeah, if you ask Jeremy Pruitt, he'll probably tell you, what's Phil Fulmer doing these days? That would guarantee you that would be the take. Just ask some of those folks in Alabama and Tennessee about that.
Absolutely. What else is going on with the Florida Gators? Give us some insight. How's recruiting going? How many people have transferred out?
Yeah, they've had a few that they've lost in terms of recruiting. The main thing for Florida that you wanted to see, I wanted to see, was a transfer portal. What's going on in the portal, Right. Because that's very important for Florida. To date, they have 11 guys who have hit the transfer portal, but the positive news for Florida is one guy was a starter. That's it. And he was only a part-time starter, and that's Chris McClellan, defensive tackle. He played a couple years ago as a true freshman. He was in the rotation this year. He wasn't. I shouldn't say he was a starter, but he was a guy that got a lot of playing time at D tackle for Florida when he was healthy. A Texas kid, so and according to one of the media guys who covers recruiting in the portal, he thinks he's going to end up back in his home state of Texas. So one you can understand. Max Brown throwing himself in there was no surprise whatsoever. Again, Graham Mertz is coming back. You've got DJ Lagway coming in. Somebody was leaving, and I think all of us, and anybody who even follows Florida Gator football, knew that Max Brown was probably going to be the guy that threw himself in the portal. The other guy, really, Kamari Wilson, he's in there. Of course, a 5-star safety. They reduced to 4 stars just before he enrolled at Florida. But a guy who, as a freshman, he got on the field. He actually started a game or two, but it just, with this staff or whatever's going on, it hasn't clicked for him. He's unhappy that he's not been starting and getting very little playing time this season, so he has put himself in the portal.
Well, you talking about people in there. I've got the number of players who've gone in there. It's kind of crazy. Now, Mark, let me ask you this, because this is all new to me. If they go in and they got a bowl game, to play. If I'm a coach and you're going to leave, but you got to be careful because you need scout team players, you need your backup players. But if they're going to transfer out, I kind of want them out the door now. Do you think any of these guys that declared will be practicing and be playing in bowl games as a backup?
I don't think so.
Yeah. Talk about that.
Yeah, I don't think so. And again, because for the very reason you stated, look, I hate to use the word cancer, but you got a guy who wants to leave. He has no interest in staying for one reason or another. Maybe that reason is because he's just mad at the staff and he feels like, hey, I've been shafted. I should have been the guy starting. We see that all the time in college football. Well, that's the guy you don't want on your practice field,
right?
Infecting other guys because he may be saying, hey, you need to go with me. And that's exactly what you're going to get. So we see that all the time in recruiting. You go down to the Under Armour All-American game, and I've been at those practice sessions. I can't tell you how many practice sessions I've been down there, but you'll see guys coming off the field. No, you need to come with us. You need to come with us to Georgia or Alabama or Florida or Florida State or whatever, and they rib each other, they tease each other, but there's a tone of seriousness to it too, guys.
It opened up Monday, 30 days, and this transfer went. Well, I tell you what, Mark, I just got a finger pointed at me. I'm disappointed in that too. But anyway, we got to take a break. Can you hold on? We'll bring back Mark McLeod and finish up his thoughts on this transfer deal. Everything's going on with the Florida Gators. But right now, let's talk about some of our great people. J. Michael's Restaurant, legendary place. They're closed down, the remodeling, and as soon as they open those doors, we'll let you know about that. Chuck Tucker, South Oak, taught in closing. Chuck is a graduate of Mosley High School. No, his dad was a principal there. Mark McLeod graduated from Mosley High School. So you know there's nothing but outstanding people come from Mosley High School. Take that, Glenn. South Oak, taught in closing, number one. Not even close. Also, don't forget about Dr. Chad Mitchell. Listening to him every Monday morning right here. 25 years taking care of Bay County athletes. The guy's incredible. El Rodeo, Tequila Bar and Grill on Thomas Drive. Right across the street from the Navy base. Rudy's Barbecue on Back Beach Road. That Cajun place. We'll be right back. 104.3 ESPN, Northwest Florida.
I'll have a blue at Christmas without you. Oh, if you feel so blue, you're just thinking.
ESPN Northwest Florida has the real local fishing report. Hi, this is Tim from Bay Breeze Bait and Tackle. Join me every Friday at 4:20 during the afternoon Underdogs. It's accurate, detailed content from local anglers, plus fishing updates on Saturday and Sunday morning right when you hit the water. Advice and stories from local anglers. Tune into the Bay Breeze Bait and Tackle Fishing Report, exclusively on ESPN Northwest Florida.
This is Joanna with ESPN Northwest Florida. Here is your weather forecast on this Wednesday morning. As we head into this afternoon and evening, clear skies and a high of 57 with a moderate breeze at 13 miles per hour out of the north. For tonight, clear skies and a low near 40. Tomorrow, wind 5 to 10 miles per hour, mostly sunny and a high around 59. For Friday, mostly clouds and a high of 66. This weather forecast is sponsored by Mid-South Lumber, the best little lumber yard in Panama City. Thank you for tuning into ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
Are you tired of hearing 2 weeks when you call to get your boat worked on? Hey folks, it's Chris Kramer with Kramer Marine and Outdoor, and we'll get you in and back out on the water as quick as possible. We're a full-line Yamaha outboard dealer and Suzuki outboard dealer, and we have master-trained certified mechanics on site. So if it's just an annual service, electronics install, trolling motor install, or all the way up to a full repower, we can take care of you. So stop by and see us in the corner of Frankfurt and 23rd next to Bill Kramer GM, or call us at 850-851-0453.
Jim Gaffigan here with some more Straight Talk. Let's take a moment to appreciate our sweet children, loving grandparents, and eternal soulmates. Now let's use them to save money on wireless. Because with the Straight Talk Silver Plan, you get 4 lines for just $25 a month with unlimited data and no contracts. So add those human pawns, loved ones, and save money. Thanks, kids. They're finally worth it. Straight Talk Wireless, available at Walmart.
Get 4 lines on Silver Unlimited for $25 per line per month, plus taxes and fees. For data management practices and additional terms, visit straighttalk.com.
If you got more A's on your truck than you did in high school, you might be a Bama fan. Now back to the Coach James Hale Show on 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
the Florida fight song.
He's pumping us up.
I played that in the beginning of this.
That was good. You did good. I like that
No,
song.
you did. We won't back down. That's the Florida.
Is that for Gator fans feeling good over what happened this weekend?
Oh, baby.
There, go there again. See, I'm getting
No. Florida people have first class. We do not. There's no way they're going to.
Mark, I just told them before we got on the air that I was buying a new weapon this morning, and what do? They just start in on him.
He's been pretty good today. He really has. You should have seen it. Mark, you should have seen the text I got Sunday. The language. Oh, my. I asked him, can we read this on air? He goes, no.
It was Latin.
Yeah. Anyway.
I don't know how anybody didn't see that coming, though, to be honest with you. I'm honest. I put it on Facebook.
Yeah.
I put it on Facebook. You had to see that coming. And to me, here's the dumbest thing about this whole thing to me. Well, one of the dumbest things. Florida State fans, too many of them, are infuriated at the Southeastern Conference. Nick Saban, Alabama, Greg Sankey. Why don't you channel that energy? And Jimmy Petronis, why don't you channel that energy and do something that is actually could possibly work and would help? Get Florida State out of the ACC. They've done nothing for you except saddle you with a $120 million payment to get out of the doggone conference after that rights of media deal, which was signed between who? Oh, the ACC and ESPN. So get them. Why don't you put up the money and get out of that? Yeah. Because that's what you need to do. Well, the ACC has done nothing for you. The Big Ten and then the SEC jumped the shark. Southern Cal, UCLA, Texas, Oklahoma. They've expanded the conferences. Greg Sankey has worked for at least 2.5 years. And look, don't take my word for it. Go look it up. Google it. You'll find it. He has worked to try to expand the college football playoff. What did the ACC powers do? They sat on their hands. Mm-hmm. So they did Florida State no favors.
Yeah. And three people connected with the ACC were on the committee, one from the SEC.
Including Boo Corrigan, who ran it, and he's the NC State AD. I mean, this is, you want to tie ESPN to it and all that. That's fine. That's fine. I have no issues there. But the angst at the SEC, Greg Sankey, Nick Saban, Kirby Smart, they're doing the same exact thing Bobby Bowden, Mike Martin, and others did at Florida State, and rightfully so. And that is promote their programs. Tell everybody we're worthy. We should be there.
See, that's it, Mark. They're angry at the SEC commissioner and all that for doing what their commissioner should be doing.
Exactly. Yeah. And what their coaches have done. Anybody remember 1993 when Matt Pryor got in front of the cameras, the FSU wide receiver, after the loss to Notre Dame and said, we deserve another shot. We are worthy. We deserve another shot. Lo and behold, they got that other shot. Right. West Virginia was undefeated. They didn't get a shot. Mm-hmm. They were told to go elsewhere.
Auburn 2004. Auburn Tigers 2004.
I was just going to say the Auburn Tigers too. And look, Auburn was pretty doggone good in 1993, but they were hit with violations and probation. They had no shot. Yeah. So what's going on at Michigan right now? I mean, none of this makes sense. It's bad for college football. What happened to Florida State is bad for college football. But instead of foolishly and really wasting your time and energy on aiming your vitriol at the SEC, why don't you do something smart and get the hell out of the ACC, because they don't care about you unless you're bringing money in for them. They've proven that. They sat on their hands during expansion. They sat on their hands during playoff expansion. And Florida State deserves better, don't they?
Yeah, they do.
Well said.
Well, the ACC commissioner and the Big 12 and the Pac-12, they all decided we're not going to have it this early. And so just cut your throat, So, but next year...
Yeah. And guys, that was right when the expansion stuff was coming. You saw the Big Ten make their announcement with UCLA and Southern Cal. Then the SEC followed quickly. And you know, protect your conference. Do what you got to do. Right. If you're gonna, if you're gonna be so dumb, and I thought you were the academic conference, to sign a media deal that goes through 2036 punishing your people for leaving. Go back and look at the 2016 article that Brett McMurphy wrote on ESPN about it.
Is he not now
in that article? It's
Ten?
almost impossible to get out of this conference.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, the one good thing I would say in all of this exercise, and most of it has not been enjoyable for me, even as an Alabama fan, it hasn't. The one good thing is this is the first time I can remember, maybe since the first year, where I legitimately feel like we have more than 4 teams who should be competing for the national championship. That is at least good. Yeah.
You're absolutely right. I thought the same thing, because this is the first year I remember. Now, we have 7, but yeah, you can go 8 teams. You don't need 12.
Yeah.
8 teams, this is the
Who would be the 8th team, though? I get the 7.
Oregon would be 8, but yeah.
With 2
But
losses.
seriously, think about a college football playoff consisting of Georgia, Ohio State, Florida State, and Oregon. That's not a bad playoff.
And it's on my blog, bloodsportsradio.com. I blogged about it a few days ago, 3 days ago.
Next year,
it is what a bunch of set of matchups you have.
Yeah. And the next year we'd be arguing about who's 13, 14, or 15.
Well, I'm glad you brought that up, because I heard that they have to take like a 2-lane. What?
I think it's the best group of 5. Is that correct, Mark?
The highest rated.
Yeah.
Group of 5.
Well, they have to take 5 SEC teams, and probably.
I'm with you. Hey, they should.
Yeah,
they should.
Hey, I had a friend of mine
Super League. Yeah.
I had a friend of mine said, "Well, all 12 ACC teams will be in next year."
What does he drink?
But seriously, guys,
he said SEC team.
Guys, this is the perfect time. Florida State has a lot of not only local, regional, but national vibe going right now, where people say you were wrong, they were wrong. Take that energy, take this opportunity, and use it to get out of the ACC and help yourself for the future.
And then the governor's sending $1 million for legal fees so we can sue them, which is not going to accomplish anything other than tick them off. And then you know, but I'm with you. Take that money and put it into the standalone facility, or just pass it out to the players. I mean,
Mark, how do you leave Georgia out? I mean, you've won 29 games straight, back-to-back national championships. You lose by 3 points in your home state. How do you do
you're
that?
right. Georgia is one of the 4 best teams in the country. Alabama is one of the 4 best teams in the country.
What about Ohio State?
I have no doubt.
Ohio State's pretty dang good, too.
Yes, Ohio State's fantastic. This is a year. Again, this is the year when they should have had 8. They should have had 8. It would have been unbelievable. The money would have been unbelievable for everybody. Players would have gotten all the exposure. But then you had folks 2-3 years ago with their feelings hurt, and they didn't. Greg Sankey is the Donald Trump of college sports. No one wants to work with him. No one wants to do anything. That was especially true 2 years ago, and so they shut it down. And that's exactly what happened. It was a temper tantrum.
Yeah.
Do you still believe that Clemson and Florida State will be in the SEC?
I do. I know Clemson will be. I don't know about Florida State.
They keep saying Big Ten for some reason.
I keep hearing that as well.
Clemson, I think Clemson and Florida State have pretty much made their mind. Miami wants to leave too, but nobody has been more vocal about it than Florida State and Clemson. And I think what happened to Florida State is an unbelievable opportunity to make that happen.
Right. With the Miami thing, they don't draw a lot of people. So, I mean,
you got more in your studio than they have in the state.
yeah, that's true. So, but we had quite a dialogue going the other night, texting back. I didn't text. He sent me letters. I sent him paragraphs.
But Mark, I'll be honest with you. I'll be honest with you now. I think it's wrong. Driving back from Atlanta, I thought, okay, listen to the game. Florida State's going to be at number 3. There's your top 3 teams. I thought it was going to be between Texas and Alabama, and I was trying everything in the world to think how I can justify Alabama over a team that beat us. That's kind of hard to do. But the bottom line is, I agree with the committee. I think that I don't think those are the 4 best teams, but I think it's the best matchup with Florida State's quarterback not playing. I can't sit here and not tell the truth about that.
Yeah. I agree. And then, look, guys, it's just like a judge giving a jury instructions. What are the instructions to the committee? And as we've seen with what happened at TCU, previous years with Notre Dame, the committee seemingly said, I think we can all agree, we're taking the 4 best teams right now, and that's what we're going to do. And Georgia got left out somehow, but I think we know how. So, there was no way they were going to take 2 SEC teams. Boy, you talk about screaming. And who are you going to bump then? I mean, it's just bad for college football.
If Georgia wins, FSU's in, even with the hurt quarterback.
I don't see any way Texas is ahead of Florida State without Alabama.
Right. Exactly.
Right.
All right. Hey,
exactly.
Mark, we got you next week.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we're trying to talk Glenn out of not shooting himself, so hopefully he'll be here with us. The end of the world's not over.
Problem is how many he takes with him.
That's right.
Hey, again, I want to thank the Florida Gators for ruining college football. Thank you for that hit on the quarterback. That was a nice, cheap shot.
All right. See you, Mark.
ESPN Northwest Florida. It's the Coach James Hale Show.
This is the mayor.
Oh, Greg!
It's all about the money. I remember distinctly listening, and you guys never fell off the Saban train. Maybe other schools no, they don't. No, they don't. I'm going to shut that down right now. Name one team. Name one.
Weekday morning 7 to 9. ESPN Northwest Florida.
This is Joanna with ESPN Northwest Florida. Here is your weather forecast on this Wednesday morning. As we head into this afternoon and evening,